welcome back to part 2 of today's program, CSI, Court Speed and Implications, Understanding Michigan's Justice System. In the first part of our program today, we got a very comprehensive overview of the judicial branch in Michigan, and now we're going to see that in a more practical way as we follow the case People v. Gillis. You saw that profiled in the video in the first part of the program. We're going to follow that through the court system. That's a case that involved breaking and entering, a high-speed chase, and eventually charges and a conviction on 2 counts of felony first-degree murder. We're going to take it right through from the district court right up to the Supreme Court decision. And to help us make sense of that and go through that process, I'd like to welcome our distinguished panelists for part 2. Again, we have Robert Young, Jr., Justice, Michigan Supreme Court with us. Christopher M. Murray, Judge, Michigan Court of Appeals, joining us. James P. Adair, Judge, St. Clair County Circuit Court. Marilyn Atkins, Chief Judge, 36th District Court. And also joining us on the panel for part 2 are 2 attorneys who were involved in the arguments before the Michigan Supreme Court in this case. Timothy P. Flynn, partner Carlstrom Cooney, LLP, Clarkston, the appellate counsel for the defendant, and Timothy K. Morris, Chief of Appeals, St. Clair County Prosecutor's Office, who was appellate counsel for the prosecution. Welcome to both of you, and nice to have you joining us too here for the second part of our program. And again, they did such a good job in part 1, we brought them back for part 2. Michael Shantz from Livonia Public Schools and Darrell Carter from Detroit Public Schools, and again, I'm going to put the burden on them for the most part as we follow the progress here. And guys, would you start by reading the overview of the case so we have that firmly in mind as we go forward?
During the afternoon of May 24, 2001, defendant John Gillis broke into Steve Albright's home. Albright confronted Gillis, who fled. Albright initially attempted to follow him, but then called 911 and gave police a description of Gillis' vehicle. The police spotted Gillis' vehicle soon after, and the officer attempted to stop the car, but Gillis sped away and led the police on a high-speed chase. The chase ended when Gillis, traveling the wrong way on I-69, collided with another car, and 2 people in the car were killed.
Gillis was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree felony murder. The jury convicted Gillis as charged. The trial court imposed the mandatory sentence of life without the possibility of parole. The Michigan Court of Appeals, in an unpublished 2-to-1 opinion, reversed the trial court and remanded for a new trial on second-degree murder. Gillis' attempt to escape and the victim's deaths were not a part of the continuous transaction of or immediately connected to the home invasion, said the Court of Appeals. The prosecutor then appealed, and the Michigan Supreme Court agreed to hear the case.